I'm on a journey to get better, and I want to do it with you. And I'm not just focusing on physical health, I'm focusing on everything: emotional wellness, spirituality, finances, relationships, and so much more. Every week, it will be my personal goal to bring us, the world's leading healers, experts, and game changers, to share groundbreaking secrets and tips to getting better in all areas of life. Getting better isn't easy, but it's a whole lot easier when we can do it together. Welcome to Better Together with me, Maria Menounos. Welcome to Better Together, everybody, because when you know better, you get better. Our quote of the day: happiness can be found in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Let me do that again. Happiness can be found in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. And that is a Harry Potter quote from J.K. Rowling. Thank you, Steph, for the quote.
Sometimes fantasy really just feeds my soul.
The only thing about Instagram Live, so guys, we are live here and we are going to try to broadcast every day live. I'm going to figure out what time that's going to be. But I figured we should all get together. We're all going to be quarantined and afraid. And not naked and afraid, quarantined and afraid.
Remix.
And we should all be together and we should help each other in this moment where, you know, we're afraid and we're trying to get answers, or just being able to spend this time together and trying to be positive, and focused on the good, not just on the bad, right? And so we are going to have guests on the show, whether it's people in the, Homeland Security world that can tell us how to be safe, or, psychics, anybody who can kind of help us through this time. We're going to get them on the show. Healers, doctors, the normal drill. But normally we haven't had psychics really on the show for a while, but I think this is kind of the moment where we want to really know what the forecast is like.
Yeah, I'm curious what some of the people we've worked with before are thinking.
Yeah. So if you are on YouTube watching us live, thank you guys for joining us. If you're on Instagram Live, you're right in front of me right here. You're not going to be able to hear Stephanie in the booth, but you can go to my Instagram stories, swipe up, and join us on YouTube and join us in the live chat. We want to hear from you guys. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? I think, there's a lot of ground to cover, but I'll tell you what we are doing here in our house. And I think we started self-quarantining. Gosh, today is what, Monday? When did we start self-quarantining? I think I started like Friday.
Yeah, Friday, probably Thursday night, we were like, I guess it's time.
Yeah, so Friday, I did make a trip to Whole Foods, I think, on Thursday. But for the sake of my parents who are elderly and sick and live with me, I have really made sure to be as careful as possible. I was the person at Whole Foods with the mask and the gloves, and I was hand sanitizing my gloves and doing everything that I can. And then I used Lysol wipes to clean every product I brought home. I know that sounds aggressive, but when you think about the fact that it's so transmittable and it lives on surfaces for 2 weeks, why bring foreign objects into the house that you are going to break open, touch your face and mouth with, and eat, and now take those germs in? So you got to do the best that you can. And so,
yeah, even Starbucks they're changing the way that they're doing orders right now. So you can't hang out in stores. It'll be really quick. But think about wiping down the top or using one of your own straws that you can put in and take and throw away when you're done, because everything gets touched there.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. So my dad and I, we stopped going to get coffee and patronizing or going out and being served because I know that my mom has stage 4 brain cancer. My dad's type 1 diabetic. He's 75, she's 65, and we have to be super, super careful. And, there are people, like, you don't know what everyone's standards are. And that's where it gets scary, right? Like, I have really high standards for cleanliness and a huge fear because of my family. But there are people out there who think this is an overreaction. There are people out there who think, I'm young, it doesn't matter, I'm fine. And yes, you will be fine, but my mom and dad won't. And so if you're coughing into your hand and then you're handing my dad his coffee, guess what? That's not safe. And so I'm so glad my dad had been laughing at me for weeks. So I've been forecasting this for at least 2 weeks. I'm like, guys, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be no food on the shelves. We need to start preparing and stocking up on stuff so that we are safe for a month's worth of food and supplies. And luckily, we started that process so early that now this last week has been about the odds and ends we didn't think about. Tampons. If you're out there, ladies, and you have not thought about the fact that we could be quarantined in our homes, and guess what? If you think it's only going to be 2 weeks, think again. This is going to take a long time. It might take months. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we don't know. Also, on the topic of sanitary health, I know that a lot of people with newborns aren't finding wet wipes because everyone's buying them.
Yeah.
Women, I've been using Summer's Eve for years. It's wet wipes for women specifically.
No way. There's wet wipes for women?
pH balance, baby.
I didn't know. You know what's really so gross? I'm going to share.
What?
So, we have wet wipes, right? And there are those rare moments where you're like, okay, I have to go somewhere and then I'm going to go work out. And so I'm not going to shower, but I don't want to feel gross. So you wet wipe.
Yes, of course.
Your vulva gets fucked up. Just FYI.
If it's too wet down there.
It's no bueno. No, there's something in it. So I did the research because I thought I was dying. I was like, something must be happening. Why does this hurt? And then I realized if you read up on it, there's something chemically in there that actually messes with you. And it's really bad. It hurts.
It's not pH balanced.
Because it's not pH balanced. So, okay, cool. Well, listen, I've abandoned that. Now I just take multiple showers and I deal with it. But nobody's thinking like that. And it's interesting. So yesterday, Kevin and I have been also this week thinking about like our friends and family and people who may need assistance. And, Kevin's been my like ninja. I keep sending him out like, all right, Kevin, you got to go get this prescription. You got to go get that because I'm not going out. So not one extra person is carrying things into the house. And so, he's been picking up extra things for different people that we know in our lives that need help. And I forget why I was just saying that. Now I've lost my train of thought. But I remember texting him yesterday. I'm like, shit, I don't have hair conditioner and I don't have tampons. Like, I need you to go get me all this stuff.
Those are the extra stuff. But I'm so glad you told me because I have a cousin with diabetes. Mm-hmm. And it's like those things you don't realize because we're all gratefully we trust what's going to happen and we think that we're going to have solutions, and I really, really hope it's as fast as possible. However, it's better to be safe than sorry, especially with people with diseases like that.
Mm-hmm. Better to be prepared and not have had the opportunity. Here's the truth, guys. When you hear that in Italy, doctors are crying in hallways because they're having to say no to people with conditions or elderly, because they don't have enough space to take care of everyone. So they're having to choose, like in wartime, who can be saved. And whoever they think can't be or has less of a chance gets sent home. Okay? I don't need to tell you what goes on after that. You're on your own. And so I'm telling my relatives, if you are not preparing for the worst for your elderly and you are not thinking ahead for them, I'm thinking so far ahead to what the worst scenario could be. And the worst scenario in my head could be we all go on a lockdown. Now, will it be nationwide? Probably not, because certain states are not really as affected.
And that's what Trump said today in his press conference.
Yeah, and I hope it stays that way. I hope that the quarantining we are doing in the affected areas prevents the spread. I don't know if that's the case. Okay, so now here's the worst case scenario. We get locked up and we can't leave our homes. I literally had my neighbor buy a drone. I go, can you buy a drone? He loves gadgets and stuff. I go, because I think that's going to be our only way to see what goes on in the outside world at some point. And he's like, you're so right. So he got one.
Oh my God.
I go, we need to know what's happening out there. So anyhow, what could happen, just like in New Rochelle, New York, they had to have the National Guard come in to deliver food when they locked down New Rochelle. Okay, this is happening in our country already. That means we are going to be dependent on people who are taking their orders from people who are taking their orders from people who are taking their orders from other people. And what happens when there's multiple chains? Communication flaws, right? So now I'm saying, hey, they gave me clearance to take my mom to the hospital. No, they didn't. Well, no. Here, I have it. Nope, I've been told you can't leave. What do you mean I can't leave? I have the paper right here. Can you not see that scenario played out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Can you not see the scenario where we only have, I think it's 200,000 ICU beds in this country?
Yes.
Right? And we are projecting hundreds of thousands of people to need them. So I take my mom and dad to the hospital, say I have the clearance to take them, and they send me home. Should I not be prepared with things to take care of them as best I can and doctor them on my own, like the old days when people were in villages and they had to self-doctor? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I want to share an updated stat from New York Times. The projections suggest that 2.4 million to 21 million people in the U.S., yes, this is wide, but that's the projections we have today, could require hospitalization, potentially crushing the nation's medical system, which has only about 925,000 staffed hospital beds, in an outbreak that could last months or even over a year.
Yep.
But these dire scenarios, they say, are not guaranteed to come true. They don't account for interventions, which we are doing now, which is why it's so important to follow what they're suggesting.
So the New York Times is reporting that the estimate is going to be 2.4 million cases of corona in our country.
To 21 million.
To 2.4 to 21 million cases.
In the U.S.
Wow.
That was reported this morning.
That just came out this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is the deal, right? I am somebody who prepares. I'm someone who thinks far ahead. Like I said, my dad was laughing at me, and then when I sent him to the market a week ago with my housekeeper, because I didn't want her carrying things alone, my dad stopped laughing because he saw people running and people hysterical, and he started to see how serious this is. And so for anyone who's still not sure how serious this is, I really don't care where you live. You have to take it seriously for everybody else. There are so many people in this country that are immune compromised, that have ailments that you are putting in jeopardy. And health is the most important thing, period. Everything else will get figured out. Trust me, they got to do, like the government has to do certain things right now because there's like a laundry list of things they have to deal with, right? So first we got to figure out what are we doing to get a vaccine? How are we going to contain people? Fine. Then they're going, because I keep seeing people on Twitter, like, how am I going to pay my rent? Trust me, this is going to get figured out one way or the other. Like, there's no way that this stuff is not going to get figured out. You're not going to get evicted right now. The people with mortgages are going to have a harder time than the people with rent, probably, because there's already a no eviction notice out there for people to protect them in California. But it's like almost like we have bigger things to worry about right now, as crazy as it sounds. And the other thing that I think people aren't realizing when they don't realize how serious this is like after 9/11, the airlines went down for like, what, a week?
Yeah.
Right? Of course, the financial district of our entire nation was hit and people were scared for a while, but things came back. Then we had the mortgage crisis in 2008. The banks failed. That was huge. That was crazy. The entire world is down. Think of how bad all of those things were. And think about the fact that the NBA is gone. The restaurants are closed.
MLB.
The bars. The every concert, every event, every gym, every store, the Apple stores, every business other than pharmacies and grocery stores are shut down.
Yeah.
Are we not thinking about the fact that this could get really, really bad? And I say this not to scare people. It's to breathe a little reality into people, right? The stock market's not going to recover until we have a vaccine, until faith is restored that we are not going to all be killed by corona, let's say, right? There's a supply and demand issue, and there's, the overall fears that we have to deal with. So we each individually have to consider what are our needs and how can we best prepare for them. So think about your family, your elderly, think about yourself. Vitamin zinc, we said in the corona episode we did last week or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Zinc has been said to be helpful in the fight against corona. So Zicam is great. Kevin and I started doing the sprays in our mouths just to be safe.
Totally, because they're saying that it's a lot of what can be contained is most patients are getting it in their nose and their throat. And that's, if best case scenario of the worst case scenario, that's ideal. Mm-hmm. It's when it gets to the lungs that your health is really compromised. So doing things like zinc is really, really helpful.
Yeah. So we're zinking. On Saturday morning, I did take my family to go get my mom's high dose vitamin C drip that she gets every month. That has been really helpful in her healing from brain cancer. And I added a Myers cocktail in there. So like B vitamins and things that are going to be good for her immune system. And then my dad, Kevin, and I also got Myers cocktails and Violetta so that we're all as healthy and optimized as we can. And I everything we touched as we walked in, Lysol, 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 masks, gloves. We were as set up as possible for success. And then at home, we've added vitamin C, vitamin D3 is really good. The zinc.
B12?
Yeah, B12. And just really trying, by the way, a lot of people are drinking right now. And I know I had 2 beers the other night. And I realized after, I'm like, wow, alcohol really compromises your immune system. We're going to have to be a little careful with that too.
It's true.
And here's the thing. Until we're quarantined for 2 weeks in our homes and we all know we're safe, then I think you can drink and have fun.
That's a really good point, Maria, because I was thinking, I'm hearing so many people on Twitter, Facebook be like, okay, go stock up on weed, alcohol, whatever it is, but
dead.
Yeah, I know, but it's your lungs get compromised too. So save the smoking, maybe.
Yeah,
2
no
weeks.
Smoking. You can do edibles if you really need to. By the way, it's going to be really helpful for anxiety.
Yeah,
but I think the other thing, I made sure when I have really bad asthma issues, I'll go to the hospital and they'll give me a nebulizer treatment. I had a nebulizer and I got rid of it because I hadn't had any issues in a long time. And so I got another nebulizer and I realized, not only going to be good for me, but if something happens to my parents and they get it, their respiratory systems are going to be under attack, which means a nebulizer will help open those lung sacs and get them air. And that might be a saving grace for them. So I've thought that through. I'm trying to think of everything that we've done. Anytime we've left the house, the second we get home, which I'm not leaving the house. I had to leave to go to the doctor's office today. I rip off my clothes, throw them in the laundry, and start fresh. So that anything that you touch from sitting somewhere or doing whatever, you're not bringing it in. And masks are important for basically you not to transmit to others, but also you not to touch your face. And so I've been wearing a mask the few times I've had to go out, like I said. It's crazy. You have to think of everything. And like I said, I've been kind of helping young people who aren't taking it seriously, but I've been helping older people who aren't taking it seriously. We were on the phone with my family on the East Coast, and my dad was talking to his brother, and they're in their late 80s and early 90s. And I made my dad say, I love you to his brother before he hung up the phone. And I said, Dad, they're not taking it seriously. And you just never know what's going to happen. So I want to make sure that you are prepared and you have no regrets. I know that sounds extreme, but when someone's as sick as they are and as old as they are.
It sounds extreme, but also, why not live like that? Why?
Yeah. Well, that's true too. It's a great point. You should be doing it anyway.
Yeah, the best things, and we've talked about this so much, can come out of this.
Yeah.
and you said it to me, it can bring out the best and worst in society. And I really think it can bring out the best if we like say we're grateful, we just social distance, but still connect with each other. That's why we have the internet. Like, it's the first time in a while I've been like, thank God, internet, let's do this. Let's talk and be positive. Also, side note, my aunt, who's a cardiologist, messaged us, and she's been on the front lines for a lot of it, and said, other than the 20-second hand wash and keeping your hands below your shoulders, I recommend wearing a scarf around your neck if you're going about town. It's easy for you to lift over your mouth or nose at any discretion.
Got it.
So it's another idea if you don't have, if masks are all sold out by you.
Very cool. I'm trying to see here if you guys are on Instagram Live. You can go to my stories and swipe up, and you can join us on YouTube Live.
I
so
have
you can
some
hear
people
the
in the
full
chat.
Connection between Steph and I talking right now. Yeah, what is everybody saying in the chat?
Everyone in the chat, I want to shout you out. Jacob Morgan, Megan Lynn, thank you for going live still. This positive energy and community is so needed right now. Nate Shifty says hello.
Hello.
Terry Kalindo. Sock Mancy, Tammy Govea, love and light to you all.
Tammy's
asking about your freezer situation.
Oh my God, the freezer situation. So we have been, okay, so years ago, my mom and dad bought us a freezer, a big, huge stand-up freezer that we have in the basement, so that she was making us meals and she would freeze them. And that's how I got the idea to create a Greek frozen food line back in the day. Anyhow, so we've had that freezer and we have stocked that up. We've stocked our regular freezer up. And then we have our outdoor fridge for the outdoor kitchen that we have. And so, I mean, listen, we have food prepared for hopefully a month. Yeah, definitely for a month. But some of it, here's the problem. So Kevin went shopping. My husband is a consumer, guys. He went shopping and he bought so much junk, like egg and cheese sandwiches, like pre-made, as if. But if we are stuck and we have no choice, it's edible and we'll eat it. And so, oh, by the way, Steph, I have a stash of flashlights.
Oh,
remind me to give you some.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. My friend Ted, who I met at Tony Robbins, had sent me like a prepare kit. It has tons of flashlights and like, the like astronaut food kind of stuff for like a disaster. And I just found everything. I was like, ooh, perfect.
That is.
So anyhow, we are stocked up and ready to go. I got insulin for my dad. So he's got a full supply of that. So he's covered for 4 months, I think, with that. And then my mom, she's the only one because hers is like, has to be administered at Cedars. So she has an appointment on Wednesday. I don't know what's going to happen and what they're going to do. I'm sure they're going to still be open and we're going to take her in with, I have like one of those gas masks, like the legit masks I'll put on her. And she's difficult because the tumor is on her mood personality area. So she's like a little childish. She doesn't listen. She's very like, if you tell her let go, she's going to squeeze. If you tell her turn right, she'll go left. It's like a thing inside of her brain. She does the opposite. So it's very difficult.
Defiant.
Yes. And so anyhow, we'll have to deal with that. Like today, I had to take my dad to the doctors. They can't give him his medicine without the doctor seeing him. So now we set up through like the medical website at USC. They will do appointments through the phone. So that'll be good for him. Yeah, I mean, we've got I got tampons, bitch.
I haven't thought about tampons. Mm-hmm. It's a really good one.
That was one I thought of. And then, by the way, medicines for your animals. So this morning, and I had told Violetta to get Max's medicines the other day, but it's been a little chaotic. So, because she had to prepare her house too at the same time. And so I woke up at 4 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God, they're not going to care about the animals. Oh my God, they're really going to be the last like line of like care. So like, we need a supply of medicine for Max because Max has a condition where he can't digest the food himself. So you need this powder called Panicare that digests the food for him. And so I finally got that all handled today.
Good.
It'll be overnighted tomorrow. And then also thinking about where your stuff gets mailed, right? Like we have a P.O. box, but now I'm going to have to start having things shipped to the house because who knows when that's going to shut down. You don't want to have things there and then you're stuck and you can't get them. There's so many things to consider. You have to keep thinking worst case scenario so you're ahead of it.
Yeah, especially when it's stuff that you can just easily make a slight adjustment and kind of take your ego out of it. It's like we just have to do what we can.
Yeah.
It's not, I feel like the word social quarantining is really scaring people, but if that can save lives and protect you and protect others, relax, sit back, spread some positivity. Also, question about animals now that you brought it up.
Yeah.
So I have a friend who just adopted a dog and they were like, this is the perfect time. And on one hand, I'm like, yeah, it probably is. You have like maybe 8 weeks at home possibly where you can just train this animal. Or is it bad? I don't know.
No, I think it's a great time. By the way, that's another thing. All these animals in the shelters are going to need homes desperately.
Yeah.
So this is a great time to rescue an animal because the truth is you probably will have most people are not able to work. If you're able to work from home, consider yourself lucky because you're going to be able to weather out the storm. Like that's a gift right now. And I'll get to what we did at AfterBuzz as well. I'm taking notes, I can remember. But Tamar Geller, for example, I'm sure all of these dog trainers they have so many things online where you can actually now take your time and make it useful. And I want to talk about taking your time, excuse me, and making it useful because, again, these can be opportunities for growth, opportunities to see how you want to make adjustments in your life, where you want to go, rather than thinking, oh my gosh, this just happened. Maybe it happened for a reason and now you can start fresh, right? Like if you lost your job and you didn't really like it anyway, maybe this is an opportunity to think about what you could do and look at where there is a need and how you can jump in on that. So hello, everybody on Instagram, by the way. If you want to join us on YouTube, you can just go to my stories and swipe up to come join us. I think, I already was talking to Tamar about doing an episode with us and teaching us, how to handle our new rescues that we're taking home and training from home and things like that. Because what I did think about is a lot of us are going to be with our animals more than we ever have been. So we might start to see the flaws that we've dealt with because we're running outside the house and we're like, okay, cool, we'll deal with it later. Got to go. Now it's going to smack us in the face. Right? And so when it's now intolerable, you can go online and find some YouTube videos and dedicate the time to fixing it. One of the things I've been doing, aside from preparing my entire home and the people that I love, friends and family around us, is I started organizing and cleaning. Junk drawer in the kitchen, gone, redid, reworked. Glassware that I'm not using, I'm clearing out shelves so that I have more space for when I renovate and stuff in the future and just in general having more space. Oh, guys, we have a special appearance by my husband, Kevin Undergaro. If you would like to join the conversation, honey, get on the headset and let's get to it. We'll talk to my live reporter who was just on the scene out in the supermarkets. But I do think this is an opportunity for us to get better. By the way, if you haven't been able to put in meditation practices into your life, this is your time.
I just said that. It's the only thing helping my anxiety.
Yes. If you haven't been able to put working out into your, you could literally spend your time working out. It will be an anxiety buster. It'll be meditative.
Whoa.
Oh, God. Here we go. This is when the show goes.
Brakes. This is a time to feel sorry for yourself. This is a time to be afraid. This is a time to be a victim. This is a time to blame. And by the way, Steph, you blame everyone else. Don't you dare blame yourself or anything in the proximity within you.
Yeah.
This
I've already blamed you and Maria
Yes!
for everything. So.
Yes. Hey, whatever's
girl.
close. You know what? That's what we're supposed to do. Let's not do anything solution based. Let's not improve ourselves.
Yeah.
Honey, you're talking to the wrong audience. Everyone who's listening to this show wants to get better, right? And so we aired out some of our concerns.
What about organization right now?
I
She
think
said
this
that.
is the
That's a
moment
good one.
to organize your homes, attack the things you have not had time to attack, and opportunities to learn. If you want to learn another language from home, if you want to take guitar lessons, take them from home. If you want to
YouTube.
take a directing class, a writing class, this is the time to balance, right?
Well,
What we're dealing with. We are in crisis. Let me finish. We're in crisis. Let me finish. We are in crisis. There's no doubt about it. Okay. And we might be for a long time. So I actually made a reference and it was kind of silly. It was funny in the moment that I was like, what do the good people in jail do? They work out and they read and they study and they get better in all of those areas. And hopefully when they get out, they start a new life and don't get back into trouble. But they come out of jail ripped and their brains are exploding with knowledge.
Also, some of them they do a pet jail program, so they train dogs.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So listen, we have an opportunity with time, and we also still have an opportunity to figure out ways around this. So, for example, the other night, I was preparing everybody and letting everybody know, we might not be able to produce our shows at AfterBuzz. And this is getting crazy and we need to start preparing. And so, sorry, my crazy hair. And so quickly we realized, okay, we have to tell all of our hosts to stay home. And I said, let's use Zoom and we will conference everyone in through Zoom and we will produce our after shows digitally from the comfort of everyone's quarantined situations. We are in a unique position at AfterBuzz because a lot of our employees actually live together. So we were able to set up space so that they can continue to engineer these shows and work because they're all living with each other anyway. So they're all quarantined together anyway. So we were able to produce 14 live shows last night, which was amazing. And we did that literally like this because of good leadership and swift action. With this show, we want to be up every day because I don't want to be without you guys. I think that this is such a gift that we are able to spend this time together and help each other and give each other ideas. And so for anyone in the chats right now, if you have ideas on what we can be doing during this downtime to get better, please share it. If you have ideas we haven't thought of on things that we should have a supply of or how to handle certain things, please share it. And, because this is how we get better together.
We also have a question in the chat from Megan Lynn, and we have a new visitor. Ashley's back in the
Ashley
booth.
Daniels, who
Ashley
used to be a
Daniels.
part of the show before Steph is back in action. She's quarantined with us here at the house, so you will be hearing from her.
So Megan Lynn says, do you know if germs live on objects like mail? Should we worry about bringing packages to the house?
So I'm paranoid about packages coming to my house as well. And what I'm doing is I'm opening them and throwing them right away in the trash with gloves and then not keeping the external piece, whether it's an envelope or whatever. Take a picture of it if you need it and then throw everything away and then wipe down the surfaces where you brought things home. So when I bring groceries home, any surfaces that everything touches, it gets cleaned immediately.
Yeah, I think it's good to be proactive like that, but it also has been announced by the World Health Organization that this virus doesn't last on these types of objects. So
On paper, specifically?
Yeah, paper and packages. Even from China, when this was happening, they announced, don't fear about that. That's not what it is. It's the person to person. That's really what it spreads.
But they said surfaces is why it's transmitting so quickly.
This from the World Health Organization. It says that they just don't survive on objects such as letters or packages.
That's different than surfaces. Counters, tables. We have to think about that for sure. Okay, well, listen, I'm practicing better safe than sorry. And truthfully, you get so much information and mixed information. And I don't know if anybody really has enough time to really know everything yet.
I think why not be safe? Just do
Yeah.
it. Just I think the looking for those, like I found Clorox made, and it was Maria at the hardware store I went to a couple of days ago. It was readily available, but that Clorox
Spray.
it's an antibacterial spray. It kills 99.9% of things, and I'm constantly just spraying my steering wheel, my hands, like my handles with it. Like I spray objects with it, bottles, cans. So
Here's what this will do, hopefully, is it will make us a cleaner people because
as I've said, we are at in modern times, we are at the most filthy we've ever been. This is the filthiest society ever put on the planet.
Yeah. And so the truth is millions and millions of people die of the flu every year.
Because
and
why?
it's because people are going to work sick.
Filthy.
It's because we're filthy.
Filthy.
And hopefully we're going to get so used to, right? You need 30 days to create a new habit. Hopefully this becomes our new habit.
Yeah. Being clean. Also,
do we have water stuff?
Filthy.
Yeah. Yes, I can grab some real quick.
Or maybe Ashley can run and grab one.
Yeah.
Out of the screening room. Thank
Just
you.
really quick, shout out to Kevin. If you notice on the left of him, or the right of him, is a picture of Maria.
And Benjamin, my
And little
Cheva.
Benny.
Did you just prop that up?
I did. Filthy.
Love it.
So here's something that's really crazy that I will share with you guys that I'm really kind of bummed about, but what are you going to do? So we finally found a surrogate like 2 weeks ago.
And it's confirmed?
Oh yeah, we were moving forward and now we can't.
Shit.
So I was like, is this a sign we're not supposed to have kids?
Yep. Nope.
Excuse me.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's my asthma cough, everybody. Do not worry.
Stay in the freezer, kids.
But I still am not going near my mom or anybody just in case. But the truth is that we have been waiting to have kids forever. As you all know, we found a surrogate. She's amazing. And now we can't move forward because the clinic was like, we can't implant any new people. And I'm like, I totally get it. I don't think we should be doing it right now. You have any issues and people don't even have hospital beds. How can you deal with it? So that was kind of a sad thing. Some other things that are happening that are kind of sad for people, like Kevin was saying, a lot of the college kids whose, entire college careers, they've worked so hard and now poof.
My brother
no graduation,
and sister.
no amazing
both of
end to
them.
their years.
Yeah, Jack my brother's had the most incredible journey ever, and now he's graduating from UC Berkeley. We won't have a graduation.
Well, they will have it at some point.
Yeah.
They have to, but
Hopefully.
it's
just a little ball.
But at
buster.
civilian colleges, Steph, you want your senior week. You've become close over 4 years with these people, and they've become your family. And the people, more than likely, a lot of us will, like my college friends and I are still tight. Maria knows this decades later. And to have that just taken away,
listen,
boom.
it's just the way things are going. But, I don't think anybody's pain should be minimized. At the end of the day, yes, there are bigger things to worry about. And,
Isn't it funny? Like it's Depression time was the last time this country was totally tested. New York was tested 9/11, Washington was, and yes, the economy tested us. But this
in
is
2008, when the banks failed, that was a pretty big test in the mortgage
not
crisis.
like this, Maria.
No, obviously not like
That's
this.
what I'm saying. That's not like this. This is.
We talked about that.
This
You're late
is
to the party.
And the thing is, it will, in the end, this will bring out the better in us.
Yeah.
In the end,
too.
it's just going to be, it's going to be very bumpy. But we really needed this. And I wonder how much of this isn't just.
Oh, boo. We're not here for conspiracy theories.
No, karma, I'm saying. Just like we've all just been, all just been such consumers, Maria. Like all of us, you know what I mean? Like we've just had
you are the biggest consumer. You
That's what
should
I
wear
mean.
a crown.
I am. And we've just had such a,
Kevin bought Jimmy Dean egg sausage and cheese sandwiches.
Kev at the meeting was like,
it's so funny because they're frozen and will last forever.
I was tired. saying? No,
Do you know what I was?
No,
do you understand the philosophy?
Boo,
That's not because I even like them. I don't even eat them.
I totally believe the philosophy. I'm just laughing that we have something called Jimmy Dean's egg sandwiches in the fridge.
No,
It's like
we do not have them in the fridge.
in the freezer.
Thank you.
Okay, it's just funny to me.
And if we don't get, and in a month, if there's no food, I have 2 elderly people here who are not capable of going out.
For sure.
And we're going to eat whatever we have to. And by the way, then I have my staff who all depends on me.
Yep.
Who don't have their moms and dads out here. So again, Maria, just be careful with your jokes because that was like
Boo, my
that
job
was
is to make fun of you.
Not for that though. Don't joke about that stuff because other people out there may be thinking like I need to get my greens and my this and my well guess what, bitch? There's no greens out there right now.
Honey,
no, seriously.
You're
Maria,
getting kicked off the show.
why? For giving your people reality. If you guys can eat the healthiest you can right now, that's great. But right now, everyone needs to be in survival mode. So if there's frozen packaged food that can be stored for a long term, then I suggest you grab it. And literally, that was the only thing available. You can make fun of me for like buying new Nike sneakers on Amazon. That's how I'm a consumer.
Quick thing from the chat.
Moving on.
Sean Perry says, you will get to have that baby. It's just delayed. Keep your faith. You're going to be great parents. And I have a question for you, Maria. When you found that out, obviously it was like probably emotionally a little bust for you, but how did you like turn it into a positive?
I just honestly, like, I feel like we've gone through so much in life I was just kind of like, I was anticipating it. And so they were emailing me like, okay, she, gets her period next week. We're going to test her next week. And I'm like, are you people high? Do you know what's going on in the world? Like, this is so not happening. It's like we had show pitches for the health show that I have been developing for the last like year and a half. We were supposed to pitch Netflix and HBO today. And I said to them on Thursday last week or Wednesday, I go, guys, we need to cancel these meetings. I said, this is just not the appropriate time. No one's going to be paying attention. Everyone's going to be thinking, did they prepare? Have they gotten their supplies? Are they going to get corona? What's happening? They're not even going to be present in the room with us. Like nothing's going to get done right now. We should cancel. And everyone was kind of like, what? And I'm like, are we happy we canceled it now? It would have gotten canceled anyway. So I've been ahead of the curve on everything because I know what's coming. It's just other people are delayed to it. So I saw this coming. And my doctor confirmed it for me yesterday and was like, no, absolutely not. And I was like, I agree. Like, it's just
not
just going to have to
worth
wait
it.
a little longer.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's just
so it sucks. But there are bigger things to be upset about right now and to be concerned about.
100%.
So, Mr. Negative, if you choose to be negative and angry, you can find a new space. This is the Better Together space.
Where was I being negative?
You're using negative terms.
Because you were being irresponsible. The thing you're making fun of me for.
Bill, I'm just laughing, but honestly, I don't want to fight with you on my show. Bye.
You don't have to fight with me.
Okay, be nice. Love you. Steph, one of the things that I wanted to talk to, this is going to go viral for us fighting. That's hilarious.
I think everyone should take advantage of the time to just complain. I don't understand why we got off that one.
So
can I say this before I'm going? I'm going to say this. Listen, you can do 2 things right now with this downtime. You can either do what I'm saying and complain and bitch and or do things that are going to make your life get worse, or you can get up and fight and do something. So something, whether it's cleaning and organized, whether it's reading a book on a subject that you're going to learn from, like you have a choice right now.
Yes.
I think that so whatever it is you pick to do, you do have a choice right now to use this downtime to do something better, and that's what successful people do. Mm-hmm. And other people kind of go the other way. And I've done both in my life. I always say I always had the civilian life and the samurai life. In my civilian life, I've done that. So, but samurai life, yeah, take the time to be better, do better. Okay, well, I've said enough. I will continue to go do your bidding. I got you your medications. I got you more food. I got you more frozen food. I have to get the staff more food.
I have to do one more run to CVS, unfortunately.
Oh, and you're going to do it, I'm sure.
Courtney
Go ahead.
Stewart,
Tell your audience who's going to do it, Maria.
Courtney Stewart
the guy
in the
you're
chat.
making fun of.
God, he can't take a joke. He literally just went on a whole tirade over Jimmy Dean egg sandwiches. This is legit. This is what I deal with.
Because don't you think people are going to not buy that food because you said it?
No,
Honey,
we're going to buy
it's
it.
a
Courtney
joke.
Stewart included. She says, tell Kev the Jimmy Dean is tasty, even though it's
Thank you,
terrible for
Courtney!
you. But thumbs up for survival mode.
Yes.
Dead.
See,
Courtney.
always
Forget
got
about Courtney.
me. My
Retweet.
girl. My girl.
Okay.
Thank you, Courtney.
I want to move on to another subject. So we've talked about how to make the most of this time.
Yes.
I think that
How many babies are going to come out of
a
this?
lot of babies are going to be born.
born. But also, this isn't the time for new sexual partners. I hate to get in your bed.
No, you're right.
But I
no,
just want to say that.
Good point. That's a really good point,
Of
Steph.
course, that's a good point. P.S. Can I
Corona,
just say what I was saying to my
baby.
neighbors? This is a joke, but kind of not. But I was like, guys, like we're all on a text feed because I started the whole neighborhood watch thing, and we're all very careful and we protect each other and we love each other. So all the love texts have been going around like we love each other. We're so glad that we are all in
I'm
this
rich.
together.
I'm rich too.
Shut
No, I'm richer
up,
than you. What?
honey. Shut up.
I saw the
You are
text.
such a disruption to this show
I'm sorry.
and the beautiful energy that we are putting out.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Namaste.
Namaste. No.
Anyhow, the neighbors, it was funny. I said to them, I go, guys, when we go on lockdown, like officially, and we can't leave homes, I said, once the 2-week period is over and we know none of us are infected, can we hop fences and hang out? And they were like, oh my God, that's so funny. I was like, yeah.
Wait, Maria, you know what you should make? Those little like old school walkie-talkie cans, like with the string.
No, we already have walkie-talkies, all of us.
That's amazing.
No, we already have walkie-talkies for the neighborhood watch.
I got to get to Big 5 for more ammunition. That just reminded me.
Oh my God.
Bye,
Can we
guys.
just discuss everything that just went on in the few minutes he was here?
I'm here to help. Who built the studio?
Goodbye.
Who built this place? Who said we were going to need it one day, Stephanie?
What's happening to
Kevin
my life?
did. Kevin did.
Right? I did.
Oh my God.
I
You won't have me to make fun of anymore.
That's my job. God sent me here to make fun of you.
Oh my God.
Guys.
You guys.
He's so angry sometimes.
It was so funny though.
Oh my God. I told him today he was so mad there were these 2 truck drivers. He's like, they're supposed to be driving behind each other. And I go, who cares? There's no traffic. Yes, it is. It's slowing down. I go, Kevin, who cares? We're still getting there on the same time. There is no traffic jam. Stay calm. I go, why waste your energy being angry or negative if it's not really affecting you, right? And he was like, you're right. He's like,
So true.
Why? Come
I
on.
found myself, I'm not being negative. I think I've been doing equal parts research and equal parts fun, like letting my brain just release into stuff that I like. Like I watch Lion King. Like Disney
Yeah.
Plus is really the app for right now. But
Interesting.
yeah, just to get
Wait,
back to the
I
childhood.
don't know anything about Disney Plus.
Oh my God, Maria, they have every single Disney movie.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that would be kind of fun.
All
I
of
never
them.
watched them growing up because we were too busy working. So
Yeah. So now's your time to
I'm
shine.
gonna catch up.
But I will say I don't feel as much negativity as much of anxiety. So I think it goes
Yeah.
splits 2 ways, but it's really important for me. I finally was like, all right, regulate yourself because it's not beneficial if I don't keep myself in check.
Yeah, I think it's panicking never helps anything. It's only hurting you. And so if
Yeah.
you need help with that, get a prescription, get some CBD, do whatever you got to do
Yep.
so that the anxiety does not affect you and bring down your immunity even more.
Because I lost sleep from it. And losing
Yeah.
sleep is definitely the worst thing I can do that I can control.
Exactly. I think that knowing what we're dealing with is really important. So like right now I'm having a lot of allergy issues. I don't know if you are. Usually you and I are on par with the allergy issues.
Yeah, I am.
Are you suffering?
Yes.
Okay. So at certain points in the night and then in the morning, it's like crazy.
Yeah.
And then I kind of get normal again.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
But you don't have a sore throat or anything. No
not-
sore throat for me
none.
either.
Zero.
So it's a little crazy. We do have some literature on, is it allergies, is it flu, or is it the coronavirus?
Yes.
So with the spread of the coronavirus comes another ailment, anxiety about every single symptom. I have gone there, guys. I have been nervous because, sometimes your allergies turn into a cold.
Absolutely.
So you have to be careful and you have to know the difference.
A sinus infection.
Exactly. So as spring nears, allergies may be triggering symptoms that can make it difficult to determine what your body is fighting off. And in our case, because it's raining a lot in Los Angeles, it just makes it even worse. So here are the subtle differences. First, you have to consider the time of year. Allergies and the flu tend to be seasonal. If you have a runny nose in the spring, and this happens every year, allergies are likely the culprit. If it's winter and flu is raging in your community, then that's probably what's going on for you.
And it says that the flu is more widespread than the coronavirus. So there are differences in those two.
Yeah. So the influenza dies back in the summer. Scientists have yet to see evidence that the coronavirus will go away as temperatures rise. So that sucks.
Yeah, because a lot of people keep sharing that and it's just not proven at all.
So consider two, excuse me, consider two where the symptoms first started appearing. It's usually your nose and eyes where you develop symptoms of seasonal allergies. Seasonal flu, on the other hand, is more likely to affect your whole body, as is the case with many other respiratory viruses, including the coronavirus. So if you experience fevers, headaches, or muscle aches, consider the flu or the corona. Excuse me. There is a feeling of overall malaise that's associated with viral infections. This is from a doctor at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. Unfortunately, there's no reliable way to distinguish between early symptoms of the flu and the coronavirus. The only way is to do a diagnostic test, which we know we don't really have enough of, unfortunately, which is why we need to quarantine ourselves if we are not already quarantining. People infected, so this is from reports from 56,000 laboratory confirmed cases in China. People infected with the coronavirus develop symptoms like a dry cough, shortness of breath, and a sore throat, in addition to fevers and aches. So when you have cough and you have shortness of breath, like I have with asthma, you get really freaked out. Like I've been freaked out for like over a week. I had a breathing issue one night and I used this disc. You know, they have like Advair and I forget the brand that I have. Well, I forgot to rinse my throat and you're supposed to rinse it. And then I was coughing like psycho the next day. And so then when I used it again, the proper way, and I rinsed my throat, I didn't cough as much. It was like, actually I stopped coughing altogether. So that was good.
Yeah, that is true. That one thing that you guys can do is if it is allergies and you take an allergy pill that usually helps, that's a good sign to know that it's allergies.
Yeah, like I take my Claritin and it's like, oh, thank you, God. Actually, the Claritin works so much better than the prescription they gave me, so I stopped using the prescription allergy.
Yeah, I switched from Claritin to Zyrtec. I like both.
Yeah. So about 5% of patients may also experience nausea or vomiting, while 4% develop diarrhea. That's why we stocked up on some Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, you never know what's going to hit.
Imodium. We're ready for anything. Severe coronavirus infections can result in lung lesions and pneumonia, which is why I got a nebulizer to be safe. Anyhow, I think
it's just really suggesting that you just pay close attention to yourself. Monitor yourself like in those ways. If you take your allergy pills, is it working? Is your cough getting worse? Is your breathing getting worse?
Yeah.
Those are the things to really be aware of because they will escalate in a few days.
Exactly. Anything left in the chat? And hi, everybody on Instagram. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we do. The chat is awesome today, you guys. Hit that like button. It really helps the searchability of this video so we can be more together than ever.
Yes.
Cliff Riverd in the chat says, this is an opportunity to give voice back to the U.S. consumer. I think that this show is super impactful and the people need you and your voice. Thank you, Maria.
Oh, thank you.
And Louis Gaviria was joking about how Kevin's going to get kicked off the show. He did.
Oh, God, I'm going to have to go deal with him now, too. He's going to be like, why would you make fun of me? People are going to think that...
No, everyone loves Kevin.
Oh, my God.
Kevin episodes are very highly downloaded, so check those out in our archive in the meantime.
You guys are rewarding his shit behavior.
He does provide some great advice, I will say. Also, good time to randomly just start listening back at our Better Together episodes while you're home.
Guys, seriously, again, this is an opportunity. If you are one of the people that has been laid off or is soon to be laid off, this is your moment to learn something new and embark on a whole new career when this is over. Get healthier, get stronger, mentally, physically, emotionally. People are going to be working from home, so you can still do therapy appointments. If you listen to our EMDR episode, you can do appointments on EMDR. Anything you never had time for. When people are like, if only there were 26 hours or 100 hours in the day, this is your time. Use it wisely.
Yes, absolutely.
What else?
Porfirio D, have a good positive day in the chat. Lynn Elise, Elsie was laughing at you too. And there's a bunch of other people in the chat.
Any questions?
Not more questions.
Okay.
But we did have some updates on San Francisco at least before we leave.
San Francisco, I think just before we went up live, mandated a lockdown.
Yes. So
what is the San Francisco situation?
This is from the mayor's office. We know that the orders will take effect midnight Tuesday and will last until April 7th at the earliest. Residents are asked to only leave their homes for essential needs. From the mayor's office, quote, "We know these measures will significantly disrupt people's day-to-day lives, but they are absolutely necessary. This is going to be a defining moment for our city, and we will all have a responsibility to do our part to protect our neighbors and slow the spread of this virus by staying at home unless it's absolutely essential to go outside. I want to encourage everyone to remain calm and emphasize that all essential needs will continue to be met. San Francisco has overcome big challenges before, and we will do it again together."
I love
together.
it. So here's my last thing for you guys today. And we will be back up live tomorrow. I just have to figure out what time we're going to do this. Like, actually, if you guys could help us, tell me when you want to do it. Do you want to do it at 11 a.m.? Do you want to do it at 2 again? Like, what time do you guys think is the best time to go live and talk? We'll post it every day so you guys know, and then we'll come up with the time. But I think right now, before we go on any like official lockdown where we can't leave our homes, start preparing for your medications. Make sure you guys have a food supply. Don't forget the tampons. I'm kidding, not kidding. But truthfully, start to check in with your neighbors. Anybody that you know that's elderly, that lives around you, that doesn't have anybody. This is a moment to try to help them as well. In whatever way you can. And I think it's so important that we try to help each other. So thank you guys for joining us. And I look forward to being with you guys every day. This has been a long time coming. Here we go. Let's do this. We're better together, people. Love you guys. And we'll be back with you tomorrow.